Welcome back, YouTube fans. This is going to be a review of the Figma 414 Red Saber or Mordred from Fate Apocrypha or Fate Grand Order, whichever one you want to pick. Like most Figmas, this one's your standard affair, but let's look over the box first. As you can see, pictures, shows everything that comes with it. And as you can see, it has a different head, but it's a little more intricate than that. So let's get to it. The first thing you should do is definitely look at the instructions for this one, because this one's a little more involved. The second is, this one was thoroughly wrapped in plastic. Like, really, really wrapped in plastic. I don't think I've ever had a Figma that had more plastic wrapped around it than this one, so you're going to want to be careful when unwrapping it. May have to take some of it apart. But as you can see, Mordred here is in full armor. She's got her little ponytail here that is actually on a hinge joint, which is nice. She's got lots of rotation in her arms and legs, tons of little armor-plated sections, including that one that just fell off. But that's okay because it's meant to come off. But if you want to get a close-up look, really nice detailing on this figure. And her skirt is these layered armored sections, which make her really able to pose in more ways than some others, because the solid skirt ones are a lot harder to do anything with once you want to, pose them in some other way. Now, Mordred here has a little gimmick to her that I'll get to in just a moment, but suffice it to say, this is where most of her parts will come in. Now, she comes with the standard stand, as you can see. She has 6 additional hands to the 2 she's got, several gripping ones and other ones that you see here. But the big thing that she comes with, other than an extra copy of her sword, which has a glowing blade to show her Clarent Blood Arthur. If you want to put this on, the pommel here twists right out. Is that she has a helmet. As you might notice, the parts like her shoulder piece here are part of the helmet. The reason for this is, in the anime as well as other things that show her, the helmet flies apart and becomes part of her armor, locking onto it. So, in order to get the helmet on, you have to take her helmet apart, basically, or more precisely, the bits that are on her armor off. So, most of her extra parts are dedicated to that. For example, that piece that fell off earlier, this one, plugs into this hole here on her back. In its place, there's this small square diamond-shaped one that pops in. Let's see. Like so. Her 2 shoulder guards have 2 little tabs on them, so you pop those off, push in towards her, and up. They pop off right away. And then these are the ones that go in their place. They just pop right in. It's a little tricky to put these in. Sorry this isn't on camera, but it keeps falling out of my hands because it's really tricky to get these bits in. Okay. Then there's the front of her armor here. It pops off. And there's another one that it comes with that you can just pop right on in there. Then you take her head off. There's this little collar piece here that you have to fit on. Like that. And then you simply slide the helmet in, and there you go. You've got the armored version of Mordred. Which, I really like the armored helmet on her. It's really cool, and I don't have another figure like this from the Figma series that has a helmet like this, really. So it's a nice addition to my collection. Now, in Fate, she's a clone of Arthur, basically. Her sister, Morgana Le Fay, took her genetic material, cloned her, and grew this clone up fast. It's why she looks like Arthur. Her whole thing is she wants to be king, and when her father/mother, it's hard to say what she's called in the series, didn't approve of her, she, through a hissy fit, rebelled and basically destroyed Camelot. Now, she can't use her Noble Phantasm with the helmet on. She has to disengage it to do the Clarent Blood Arthur, which is this mode of the sword. Clarent Blood Arthur is basically her channeling all her rage and energy into a single strike. It's through the sword Clarent, which was a sign of the king's authority, but because she stole it, this sword is not at full strength. Another thing the figure comes with is two more faces. One of her here, smiling with her eyes closed, and one here, her grinning and eyes narrowed, which is kind of her battle face when she's about to hit someone with her Noble Phantasm. Overall, this figure is really nice and has lots of parts. I also like the fact that the armor is so layered, and the extra details on her gauntlets and her boots are really nice too. I definitely think that if you're a collector of Figmas, or of Fate Stay Night in particular, this is a must-have for the collection. Especially because Mordred is one of those characters who showed up a lot until recently, though was never really seen in great detail. In the really old anime of Fate Stay Night, you see her briefly, though not in this armor, obviously, because it wasn't conceived, and you see that she does look exactly like Artoria. But until this anime came out, we had never seen her in her own armor, and I really like what they did with her. And her character development in the series is really good. Plus, I do like the fact that she's a bit of a hothead, and she just fights kind of like a maniac, because she's jumping all over the place in her fight scenes and just tearing apart the scenery along with the enemies. She's a really fun character to watch. At any rate, please like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!